Star Wars The Force Awakens, Star Wars the friggin' franchise awakens podcast. We're talking about everything since that movie came out. It's been 2-3 months or whatever since the film came out now, and we've had plenty of time to digest, plenty of time to let it get out there. So, I mean, let's go back to the start. Let's go back to the first time we freaking checked out that movie. So, yeah, we'll kick it off with Franco. Big Star Wars fan. What was it like going into that cinema, man?
Well, I went opening night, kind of midnight. There was a buzz there. It seemed like it was just fans there, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Did you do Did you do the night, as in like before it came out, the actual kind of like?
We went to midnight, which
the
was,
midnight showing,
which was the first one available.
Love it.
Sort of thing.
Beautiful.
Very excited. I think the run up to the movie, they've done a really good job of actually like promoting this.
Mm-hmm.
What they've kind of shown us and not sort of shown us. So yeah, it was very exciting as a big fan to be back in the cinema, back on the big screen.
Because it's not like, we've had this conversation plenty of times, but it's not like, comparable, Frank, to like superhero stuff that's coming out, and you've got so many versions of like Iron Man or whatever in the comics. Star Wars is just really the movies, that's the canon. So it was more, you were saying to me, you were more excited just to see where these characters were at, as opposed to where these sort of new characters coming in and things like that. Yeah. So what about you, dude?
Yeah, well, I was like a bit... I was excited in the fact that I was there for the originals, as Franco was, obviously.
Yeah. I was not.
The one,
just get out there.
The one, I was not. Yeah. The ones in between, obviously, not said. But so I was a bit apprehensive. Went to go see it in the cinema. Loved it. It took me back, as in like a kind of emotional state, I think, rather than a kind of like just going to go to the cinema, going to go see a film. This film kind of like took me back a bit. I was like, I'm a kid again. I was like, Harrison Ford, Chewbacca, all the right stuff happened. The right stuff happened.
That's it.
And I was eating my popcorn, I was drinking my Coke, and I was loving it.
Did you get one of them Star Wars bottles things? No. I meant to have it in on this. I wanted to show it off. Like I got, they gave me a Kylo Ren, and the arm had busted, and I didn't realise in the line. So I took it back, and I was like, "This is not acceptable." And she was like, "Well, he's the last one," and I was like, "Oh man, I wanted a Kylo Ren because it had the lightsaber." I ended up getting a BB-8, which is nice, but I wanted a Kylo Ren. So I wish.
Was it 3D as well?
Yeah, I went. Yeah, you went. You did the IMAX as well, didn't you? Yeah, you had to.
I did the Cineworld.
That hurt you.
Many other
tender eyes
available. Well, I don't know. I did 2D Cineworld, cheap night Tuesday.
But it felt like, hey man, this is an event.
It was packed, man. It was packed.
This is it.
And I was like 2 weeks later. Like 2 weeks later.
Well, what was it? It's just crossed over the 2 billion worldwide, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as of like recording today, yesterday, in our local IMAX was the last showing.
Really?
It's still there in like the smaller screens, but but it's like December the 19th, so it's been in that big screen.
Good run.
It's only gone out because
there's new movies coming.
Coming out. Yeah. So
what's the big one out? I suppose
Deadpool. Like Deadpool.
Deadpool.
At the moment.
Stick around for our Deadpool special. That's coming out.
Good stuff about that.
Yeah, but we'll keep it on track for Star Wars.
But it's sat in that big screen, for 2 months. Which is
just collecting money.
Yeah.
Disney are like,
let's rein it in.
Well, Disney have knocked it out of the park, really, haven't they? They've done a quality job. Like, I think whoever you got on board, like talent-wise, J.J. Abrams, whatever, their plan was just solid. They brought it in. They didn't friggin' confuse too much about what had come before. They weren't interested in sort of getting too bashy on the prequels.
I think like people that I've spoken to, like the average Joe, like myself, is that they almost overdid the original. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's a New Hope Mark II, isn't it? Really, if you're looking at the story, there's so many comparisons.
But, it's a Star Wars film, and I think that's what makes a good kind of Star Wars film, to be honest with you, and I don't know what people expected for it to be, sort of different. George Lucas tried something different, and people didn't seem to like it very much.
Big point, really good point.
They didn't like it.
So I mean, and that's obviously what makes a film like that work, to be honest with you. I mean, it's certain ingredients in that film, and it's a silly complaint of that film, I think, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's too similar to this movie that we love. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, if you can find anything, I'm going to complain about this.
Well, it's bizarre because I know I always bring stuff back to Batman, but when The Dark Knight came out, everyone was like, man, they're remaking the 89 Batman movie. There were people out there who were just like, it's the same movie. And I know there's a similar sort of parallel. It's like, I mean, any
but
sort of...
I think Star Wars is different though, because it's kind of like, it's got a feel to it. It's like a genre thing.
Yeah, but they were more
Batman's
about
got like a feel, it's like the characters. Do you know what I mean? Like Batman's got...
Yeah,
different.
But I mean, in terms of like, they drew a lot of comparisons to Force Awakens in terms of like, oh, okay, so it's a sandy planet, like the start of, it was that sort of blah blah blah, sort of really nitpicky yada yada. And it's like, yo, it's a good movie, man. Like, it's just like, chill out, man. I didn't even notice the New Hope stuff coming at me. I was just immersed in the movie. Which is what it's all about, right? It gave you a cinema-going experience,
especially that sort of first time. It was. I was happy just to be back in that kind of universe and looking in the background and at the characters and seeing what sort of they were doing, rather than trying to find kind of comparisons to what had already come.
Yeah. It was a hard movie to review as well. Like I wrote the review on Cape and Cowl, and you sort of like, you don't want to get sucked into talking about everything outside of Star Wars. So you just like pull it back and you're like, this movie is really good. Yeah. It's like, but again, it's magic,
it's like Star Trek. Like Star Trek, for me, the movie kind of came out when it came out and it did its thing. Yeah, I was like, that's just a great movie in itself. And I like that. What Star Wars did, the new one, was like, I can't believe I feel this way again. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like I want to go and watch the old ones again. Yeah, or the originals. I literally can I say downloaded? Downloaded some...
No, stop! The police are here!
I borrowed some DVDs from the internet.
They're coming for you now, man. We're going to put your address in the bio.
But I wanted to go back, man. I wanted to go back and kind of like...
You pirated Star Wars movies!
I know, but who doesn't own Star Wars?
Come on, man. Didn't you like just go around your mum's house? It's just like, come on, everyone's got a copy of Star Wars.
I'm pretty sure they're okay financially.
Well,
it's not like...
Not if people like you keep doing what you do.
You shouldn't promote that stuff. But definitely, I kind of like, I watched it and I was like, I really want to go revisit the other movies and just kind of reconnect.
It's funny that you did that way around, because I watched them all. I watched them all leading up to going to see the film. I was like,
oh, did you?
Let's get in this. Plus,
I did the opposite.
Plus, Becky, my lady, she's never freaking my lady friend.
You have a lady friend?
I know. Yes, we're engaged. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there you go. Oh. And so she'd never freaking seen the Star Wars movies.
No.
Like properly, she'd seen bits, she knew sort of stuff, but she was like, she was nagging at me. She was like, I'm not watching it, blah blah blah. Really sort of shocked, because she normally is up to it, sort of opens things. But she was watching those originals. She would get caught up. She was like, he's his dad, and he's just like, how do you not know this? It was brilliant. But
that's enchanting, though, isn't it? Well, do you know what I mean? I mean, that's like,
I wasn't around when those original movies came out, but
I work with people that have never watched a Star Wars movie. And I'm like, you've never watched a Star Wars movie? Yeah. That is insane. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not like a huge fan. Obviously, I'm here as the average Joe, but like to like talk to someone that goes, I've never seen a Star Wars movie.
It's just weird, right?
It's weird
because they've probably got like an R2D2 something or other, like in their pencil case when they go into school.
Kind of like,
Yeah. It's just weird, isn't it? They'll have an emoji that they put on Twitter, like, oh yeah, hashtag Star Wars, and it's just like, you've never seen the movie, you weirdo. Yeah. But it takes it back, it's that emotional thing. It's like, okay, so I've never seen the movie, so just made this point, like, in the cinemas in the 70s, but I grew up on the prequels, the so-called damn generation, well, it got me into Star Wars, like, absolutely. Whatever. Yeah. And, I was feeling some tugging at the heartstrings, and this is a spoiler cast, so if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know why you're watching. But when Luke turns up at the end, I was aching. I was like, I felt that movie was going to end when the Millennium Falcon leaves off, and I was like, you've got to give us Luke. And I was just like, it felt weird. I felt like I was losing someone. I can't imagine what it was like for you, Mr. Friggin, been there, done that.
Yeah,
all
well,
the t-shirts.
he's why I was there. I was always kind of running around the playground as Luke Skywalker as a kid, not as Han Solo. Like a lot of people would
like
say.
a dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Han Solo was the guy. He was the
main man.
He was the main
Yeah.
I like Luke.
But it's still, I've seen the film a few times now, and the bit at the end, it's I think it does its job.
Gets you, man.
It does.
You didn't even say anything.
You want to go back for more.
That long kind of like Hollywood stare. There's like 40 seconds. I think it's
just so good, and plus it's ending, right? They're not going to give you anything, man.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know
really?
that.
You were like,
know that.
I guess it's just
is something else going to happen right now? So when it ended, I was
it's beautiful.